Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Tailor, a channel where we take popular watches and make them better, just in my opinion. So, we all know the Omega Speedmaster. Along with the Rolex Daytona, it's probably one of the most recognisable and iconic chronographs in the world. But what about if it wasn't a chronograph? What would it actually look like? Well, that's what I'm going to be doing today. So first thing I need to address is obviously the tachymeter, because it's not going to need one anymore. The most challenging part is going to be removing those pushers and sort of building the case where there's the gap. That's going to be quite a challenge, but we should be able to do that. And of course we have to get rid of the 3 subdials, because with it being a chronograph it doesn't need them. So what I'll do is, as always, make a duplicate so you can see the changes we're making as we're going through. So the first thing I'm going to address is, of course, the tachymeter. Now there's a few ways to approach this. I'm just going to be a little bit lazy and I'm just going to make a new bezel. So if I just create this donut tool here and obviously bring it down to size, and then basically I'm just going to replace the bezel. So now I just have to line it all up and you'll see what it looks like. Now I am going to add numerals back to it, but I'm just not going to be obviously a tachymeter anymore. It's just going to have I might do maybe a 60 60 minute or maybe a 12 hour. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Right, so that is a replacement bezel. Let me just make sure that it's not too thick, and it is a smidge, so just bring that down. That's covered that up. It's just a little bit there. Alright, so that is the replacement bezel. So already that is looking different. I mean, the tachymeter on the Speeder is iconic, but without it, it's a little bit strange, I'm not going to lie. So what we're going to do is go back to the dial, and I think we're going to tackle these subdials. Again, there's a couple of ways to do this, so I'm going to try the in-painting brush tool first, and we're basically going to just see about removing little elements a bit at a time. So obviously if we remove too much at once, then it's going to mess everything up. So what I'm going to do is speed this whole process up, because it's probably going to take a while, and then I'll obviously show you once it's completed. Right guys, so we've got the first one just about removed. It does need a little bit of tidying up. You can just see a few little blotchy splotchy bits, but already it's looking very, very different. So now we're just going to obviously do the same and get rid of the other two. So right guys, we're on the last hurdle for these. We've just got this last subdial to get rid of, and then I'll do a little reveal. Of course it's not going to be finished then, because we've got the most difficult part, which is removing the pushers. That is going to be obviously the most challenging, because we have to sort of rebuild the side of the case to fill in the gaps where the pushers used to be. So that is going to be a tricky one. Wow guys, okay, so there it is without any subdials, and that looks really, really weird. I think what we need to do is actually, looking at it now, is create a bit more balance. So what I think I'm going to do is get this text right here and I think I'm gonna move it down to here just to create a little bit more balance, because I think there's just not enough going on here. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I didn't think it'd need it, but looking at it now, it's a little bit too sparse down here. So we'll just grab this and we'll move it down and see what that looks like. So if we grab the pen tool, just make a rough sort of selection. Oh no, that's wrong. Yeah, I did that the wrong way, guys. Oh, that's cut through. We're going to need to drop that a little bit lower. Now we don't need to do a perfect cut. Because we can, you know, clean it up after. This is just to move that. So make a selection, and then basically we want to duplicate and grab it and move it down sort of here. Of course, I'll give it a little clean up. But now we can get rid of, you know, this one. So again, we're just gonna get the inpainting tool, and we're gonna get rid of it from here. So this is, yeah, this is a bit of a strange one, guys. There's quite a lot of empty space now. It's obviously with the chronograph subdials disappearing. You know, there's a bit of space that needs filling in, I think. Right. Oh wow, guys. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna make the Omega a little bit bigger as well. So see, this is all experimenting, guys. You never know sort of what is you know, gonna work and what isn't. So now, oh, that's a little bit too close for comfort. If I bang that there, bang that there, bang that there. Right, that's it. So now if I duplicate that, make a selection and make it a little bit sort of bigger. Now that's that one, so that's this one. So if I'm, oh hang on, it's not a finger, so that's a selection, duplicate, that should have, yeah, there we go. So now we can get rid of the original, and then, oh dear, why has that gone blurry? There we go. So now we can get rid of this one, and then we can just make it a little bit bigger, and hopefully that should fill out a little bit of this empty space. So now we've got rid of that. And we've got a bit of excess there. We don't. The branding will cover that up. Right. So now we grab that, put it back up here. What is? This has got. Oh god. There's a curve there. We don't need that. Right, so now we just sort of make this a little bit bigger. Let's just see what that looks like. Okay. Now, of course, it's a little bit blurry for, you know, because it's like a copy and it doesn't look the best. So now what we're going to do is just sort of clean it up a little bit. And we're just going to, obviously, there's not going to be no dial, you know, over here. Over the hand, so we're just gonna basically just give it a little rough tidy up. Now of course, guys, you know, if Omega were gonna do this, they'd you know, do it a lot different than what I'm doing it. This is just working with the sort of the best I have, and you know, working with what you've got, really. So that isn't the best. I'm not even you know, sort of gonna lie, but if you zoom out. Yeah, oh god, I don't know about this one, guys. I really don't know about this one. Right, let's keep going. Anyway, we're this far in now, so let's just keep going. Just clean that. Wow, guys, Yeah, I'm just going to put it straight out there. It definitely looks better as a chronograph. I think what we're missing, in fact, is some sort of numerals on the dial. So I'll come back and I'll add those in. But now we're going to tackle my dreaded, part, which is those pushers. So we're going to get the eraser tool, which I'm on already. And then we're just going to rub them out. And then do my best to sort of duplicate this bit of the case and make it sort of blend with that. That is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we can give it a go and do the best we can with it. Okay, that's looking, that will look a little bit better, I'm thinking, but we definitely need maybe a 3, a 6, and a 9. So we'll see what that's like. Guys, again, I'm just, sort of experimenting here. So now we're going to have to grab the pen tool. Now, which bit am I going to need? So if I grab sort of this, probably like sort of here, no, a bit further in here. No, I might need to go up a little bit more. I can always delete the excess. And now if I duplicate that, I should be able to oh no, I didn't make the selection, did I? So go back to pen tool, make a selection, then duplicate it. Right, yeah, there we go. So now we have it's having a moment, guys. Yeah, my thing has been doing this quite a lot, my PC and the software. There we go. Now we've got a copy eventually. That's just duplicated the curve instead. So what we're gonna have to do now is do our best to sort of fill in this sort of gap here using what we've got. So that is thing, guys. So what I'm gonna have to do is neaten it up and then clone in the rest. So that is a mess, but what we can do is use the eraser tool just to clean this edge up here. So we've got the same line that flows. So you can see this line just here. We'll fill that gap in there. This line, what I'm going to have to do is clone over it to bring sort of this down onto here. So I can do that in a minute. But now what we're going to have to do is, I think we're going to have to flare it out a little bit so it matches the corner here. So if I grab this, and if I just sort of flare it out a little bit and clone, just to smooth it a bit, and then we can neaten it up with the eraser tool. And again, we're just going to sort of fill this bit out here, and we'll just sort of try and blend it a little bit. And again, look, I'll neaten that line up as well. So if I just make it a bit broader, I can, there we go. And then what we're going to do is grab this dark line, which it's not playing. It's because I'm on the thing. So if I grab this dark line, grab that, and you can see if I sort of fill this line in here, it just looks a little bit like it's sort of supposed to be there. Now it's not perfect, guys, not perfect, but if we get the eraser tool now, you can see we can get rid of this excess, and then we can just sort of make it swoop like it's supposed to. So we just follow that line, swoop it down, and there we go. It's not perfect. You can see we've got a little bit of an issue there that needs addressing, so we can sort that out. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit thick here. Right, no, that's not really worked either. I'll address that. But if you zoom out, yeah, that's a bugger. Anyway, we'll fill in the, we'll sort that out after. We need to get this bit done. So I'll just fast forward and try and sort of get this bit filled in. So we'll take right guys, so there we go. Apart from the little mess up there, which I will clean up, that is sort of what it's gonna look like. Now I think we need to add some numerals because there's just a little bit too much sort of sparseness, and I've just realised that logo is a little bit thingy as well. So if we just move that a little bit, so that's bang center. Right, what I'm gonna have to do, guys, is make a center line. So I'm just gonna sort of draw a line straight through that's in line. Now what we can do is grab this and sort of get it centered. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. Right, so what we need to do really is get this bang in the middle, which is not as right. That's about the size of the indices to there. That's in the middle, so it just needs a bit of thingy there. Now let's do this one. So that is a bit off as well, isn't it? So if I drag that, so it wants to be sort of on the S, so the S wants to be in the middle. Right, okay, so now we get rid of the rectangle. That should look a little bit better. There we go. So that's a bit better. So now we can just brush, erase that little bit there. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me delete this. It's fine. Once you zoom out, you can't really tell. So maybe that Omega branding is a little bit too big, actually, I'm thinking now. So let's just bring it in a little bit, bring it back center. Right, okay, so that's a bit better. Yeah, we definitely need some numerals. So I'm gonna have to push this up a little bit, I think, so we can fit a numeral at the thingy. So if I put that there, so that's shadowed there, that's fine. So now I'm thinking we're gonna put a 3, 6, and a 9. So now we'll just grab this layer, and then we're just gonna get some text, and we're gonna get a 3. And obviously, you know, guys, we're going to change the font and everything. We just need to get the scale and the colour right first of all. So that I'm thinking about there. And now we need to get the fill right. So we're going to use the same colour as that, which is like an off-white. Right, so that's that. Let's just see what it looks like for scale. Right, okay, that's not looking bad. So now we just need to change the font. So if we look at the font used here, it's a little bit more rounded. So that what we're going to do now is just look for something that could work. No, it's too square. No. Nope. No, it's Arial. No. That's not too bad. So we'll go with that, and I think we'll just make it a little bit wider. Right, okay, that's not looking too bad. So now if we duplicate that, put a 6, not a 9, and then we duplicate that, grab that, put that bang across, and then we change that to a 9. Oh god, I do. Oh guys, this is such a challenge. Right, I think this Omega, where are you? This one, it needs moving up a little bit, I think. And yeah, it needs to be bigger. It does need to be bigger. That's we don't want that. We want new. Yeah. Right, so we'll straighten that up after, because that's definitely not straight or in the right position. I'm just doing that by eye, but obviously it had been measured. So now I think what we need to do is duplicate, 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 turn off one of each, and now we're just going to add a little bit of a blur. Right, okay, so it's not, so that's that, and then we'll do the same, filter, blur, blur, and then same for this one, filter, blur, blur. Right, guys, so there we have it. That is what the Omega would look like as not a chronograph. Again, guys, I am not a professional, so that 6 is really skew-if as well. That needs moving. That's definitely not in the center. Right, that's a bit better. So yeah, guys, what do you think? I don't know how I feel about that, to be fair. I really don't. Yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. I think I've definitely made it worse, not even gonna lie. But I wouldn't actually mind seeing, you know, something like that. I think maybe this one's moving up a little bit. You know, just moving up a smidge. Right, that's a little bit better. So it's got a bit more of a distance now. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Yes, I will admit I have ruined it. And I think Omega should actually make one. I think it could look really cool if it was done properly. So there you go, guys. That is the Omega Speedmaster if it wasn't a chronograph.